Hi guys, it's me Ryan. Welcome back to the YouTube channel. Welcome to 2022. I know that I posted a few videos towards the end of 2021 and I never really posted anything else. Life just got in the way of one of those, unfortunately. However, I'm back and I'm making a New Year's resolution that I want to upload at least one video a week. Possibly, I think, every Sunday. I think that's where we're going to go at. Starting from this video onwards, I want to try and get a video up a week. Maybe 2 videos a week. No, I'm thinking maybe Sunday and Wednesday once we get into the swing of things. But yeah, it's certainly one that I want to do. And one thing that I'm starting with today is a Caldera review. If you do like it, please remember to like, share, subscribe. Comment down below how you are finding Caldera. What would you change? What would you keep? And yeah, this is my Caldera review. Hope you enjoy. And do make sure to follow me at Twitch. Twitch.tv/RyanSmith_. I stream there pretty much every other day. I play a lot of Call of Duty over there, so it'll be great to have you over there in the little community we're building. But most importantly, enjoy the video. So we're going to start off by talking about the map. Now, obviously, this was the biggest change to Warzone. We got rid of Verdansk, we entered Caldera, and obviously you can see the map is here. And the map has been commented on that it feels like a traditional Battle Royale map, and you have to agree with it, it does. Most Battle Royales tend to be an island in the middle of the sea around the full map. And yeah, you have 5 different points of interest, different elevations in terms of natural cover like hills, ridges, stuff like that. So it is more of a traditional Battle Royale map than Verdansk was. However, there are some issues with it that do need to be looked at. It's obviously a jungle, and so there's a lot of bushes, trees, foliage, rocks, and not an awful lot of it gives you cover. We used to be in Verdansk, you know, where you get shot when you're trying to rotate. You duck behind a tree, you can play it up, you can move to another tree. This, you can't do that. The trees give you no cover whatsoever, and things like Combat Scout, which are really, really necessary, I think, in this map, because of how dense the foliage is, to be able to actually see people when you're shooting them, and when they run and duck for cover. You just get beamed when you try and hide behind a tree to try and play it up. From right of peak in between Beachhead and between Village and Mines, it's all just open ground. There's not an awful lot of cover, and I think there needs to be some sort of an addressing of this part of the map to see, you know what, this is a really hard place to rotate. Maybe put a little bit more cover in here and there. However, one good thing about the map, I think that has been unanimous across the board, is that the developers have listened to the Warzone community, and it is vibrant. It really, really is a vibrant map. Verdansk at times look very washed out, look very pale, or look really, really dark. This is very, very green. It's very, very bright, very, very vibrant. Obviously, you can see there, I mean, obviously on the outside of it, you can see how blue the sea is. You know, there's rivers running through it. You can dip down in between rocks. There's trees. It's very green. None of the buildings tend to be that dark. The lighting seems to be very, very good in it, which makes it a lot better than what Verdansk was. You know, if you had a rose skin sat in the corner, chances are you're not seeing that person in the rose skin sat in the corner in Verdansk. Whereas on Caldera, you have got a lot better chance of spotting people who use things like rose skins. It's not bad, but it's not great. I think that's the thing, okay? People are saying, oh, it's a lot more traditional BR. I get that's a lot more of a traditional Battle Royale map. I understand that. However, Call of Duty Warzone is not really a traditional Battle Royale when you think about it. You know, you've got things like loadouts where you can remove the RNG factor of weapons. You don't have to hunt for weapons. So you just get loadout and you don't have to worry about that. So I think Call of Duty is not a normal Battle Royale anyway. So I don't think the map needs to suit it to be a Battle Royale. And there needs to be a lot more, as I said before, a lot more cover put in places where no man's land in terms of make rotations easier, especially around peak. I think peak should have probably been out of the way a bit and everything flows down from peak. I think that would have been a little bit better. And verticality on the map as well. There's a lot of times you just tend to be looking up and fighting uphill, and that is a bit of an issue. If you've got a PowerPoint, then, you know, obviously do exploit it. The map is very up and down. Alright, now let's talk weapons, and in particular Vanguard weapons, as they are the most recent weapons to be added into Warzone. Now, what you're about to see here is a pre-game lobby gameplay of basically me shooting the STG. Now, this gun, I've got fully leveled. This is quote-unquote meta build that's on it. So, the idea is that, you know, it hits for relatively high damage, as best high damage as you can, and at the same time, it's also going to hit for, you know, the recoil should be a little bit less, okay? Now, this is one thing that Raven Software have addressed that they are going to remove, but we're going to talk about it now. Just watch as I shoot the weapon, okay? Like, don't look at the reticle, look at the rest of the outer screen, okay? So don't look at the reticle, look at the screen. Look how much the screen shakes as visual recoil takes effect. As if there's like an earthquake happening as this is going on. Now, this is set to be addressed, apparently. You can see it here. Look, the screen just shakes, and the gun's got no recoil. The gun really doesn't have that much recoil, okay? If you're playing Vanguard Royale, great. Everyone's got to deal with this issue. But if you're playing normal Battle Royale, people who are using Cold War guns, Modern Warfare guns, don't have this issue. Now, when I've been playing normal Battle Royale, I've been finding that the the Vanguard guns just can't compete, especially the ARs. They just don't compete at mid to long range like an AR in Warzone traditionally does. I think they struggle massively. Now, another issue with the weapons, and Vanguard weapons in particular, is the leveling of guns. Now, as you can see, okay, I'm recording this, as you can see the date there, I'm recording this on Saturday the 8th of January. The pre-season update comes out on the Tuesday the 11th of January, so we're 2 or 3 days out from the pre-season update, so I expect guns and stuff to be changed and nerfed. However, I've never really had time to level the Bren. I work full-time, and when I stream, I don't really want to stream multiplayer. I want to stream Warzone, because I prefer playing Warzone to multiplayer. However, I had time to really level the Bren. So my Bren, as you can see at the top there, this gun is now level 35. I haven't really used that much double XP to level it up. I've just been playing a bit of Vanguard multiplayer here and there to level it. Okay, most of these attachments on here, so the likes of Mercury Silencer, the Royale Barrel, this mag, they are meta builds. So for this gun in particular, the meta attachments typically don't tend to be that high up. It's stuff like length, and that's like, I think, level 62. So you don't have to really level this gun too much for it to be an absolute laser beam. We all know this is a laser beam in Warzone. It is going to catch a nerf, so it's probably going to not be viable before much longer. However, the problem I've got with it is the weapon leveling itself. Okay, so for some reason, the Vanguard guns take forever to level up. Now, I've heard a lot of people say, oh, well, Modern Warfare guns have 70 levels. And yes, Modern Warfare guns do have 70 levels. But what you're forgetting, what many people I think forget is that Modern Warfare came out in November 2019. Warzone itself didn't come out until March 2020. The 10th of March 2020 is when Warzone came out. So between November 2019 and Warzone coming out in March 2020, there was 3 or 4 months of just nothing but multiplayer for Call of Duty. So all you could do was just grind Call of Duty. You couldn't really do an awful lot else. You can only grind multiplayer, maybe go for Damascus and stuff like that. So levels were there to be had. So by the time Warzone dropped, most people, no, I especially did, had all the ARs done in terms of like pretty much fully leveled. I had all the SMGs done, because I remember getting platinum for them. I had a few LMGs done. I had a sniper, I had the car marksman rifle. I had that one done. So, we had guns that were already leveled, ready for Warzone. And then if you fast forward to Cold War integrating, yes, okay, that was, again, a month between release and then integrating. However, Cold War only had 55 gun levels. At first, it was really difficult to level them up. The XP was really, really steep. So it was tweaked to make them easier, but Cold War had a really, really good zombies mode, which was fun to keep grinding out, to keep going with, keep hitting levels. And there's been countless times where I've done D Machine on Cold War, gone from literally double XP total on for half hour, 45 minutes, gone from round 1 all the way through to round 31 and exfilled and repeated myself and leveled guns that way. But this just doesn't exist in Vanguard. There's no decent zombies mode to do this, and the XP is really, really difficult. It's a massive grind, and it's a really big issue for casual players because the grinding guns, and then all of a sudden it just gets nerfed. Another thing with weapons in this game, and I think it is the biggest L that Raven Software have put into this, is the loadout change. Okay, so once again, I'm going to show you some solo gameplay. So this is literally at the end of Circle 1. It's just come in, loadout has just dropped, as you can see on the left-hand side there. But I've got a UAV up. I've got, I know there's 2 guys rotating, obviously, into this building. One's being chased by the other. I've got another UAV. I'm going to pop it now. Okay, so this guy comes running out. The shots weren't the best, but it's a nice, easy kill. I get it. It's not that difficult. So then this guy rotates into the building. I know he's in there. Tries to put a precision on the building itself. In case I was going to push. I didn't push. I didn't see the point in it. I held him. I could hold him anyway. So as you can see, he's in this building. UAV's telling me where he is. He's up there. So yeah, but if we just fast forward just a little bit, okay, he comes out of the building in the end. He runs out of the building. I can see him. Nice, easy kill in the end. Okay, so the massive problem we've got with this game is quite purely this, okay? As you can see by the map, it's literally just this. Can we get it? There. Okay. Free loadout is there. I am there. I know, because I seen green smoke a little bit earlier, there's a team rotating out. There's a guy definitely rotating out of docks. Possibly could be someone rotating out of mines as well, okay? So, there's that there, okay? I then ping the loadout here in a second to see how far away it is. And I don't know if you can make that out. That's 499 meters away. So, the free loadout drops into the edge of the second circle, again, where that will close. I get why, because if you're coming back from Gulag, it's always going to be safe. Whereas in Verdansk, sometimes the free loadout drops, you come back from Gulag, you couldn't get the free loadout. I understand that. However, it's a massive L, the fact that you, one, can't buy a loadout off rip, You know, there's so much money everywhere. Make it 25, 30 grand if you want people to loot up a little bit more. If you want to make it more like a traditional battle royale, do that. Like, let us have a loadout for like say 30 grand, and then drop it down to 10 grand once the free loadout comes in. I understand that they want a bit more reliance on the floor loot, making things a little bit better. There's players that can just drop in. I was one of them. I could just drop in, get a loadout, get it very, very quickly, get it over and done with very, very quickly, and then all of a sudden I'd be able to slay out against people who were still trying to get money together for a loadout. They only had floor loot. I get it. Okay, I understand why you want to change it, but it is a massive, massive L for the game, because the loadout was the driving factor of Warzone. The fact that you could use your own loadout, you could have your own guns. You didn't have to worry about looting for good guns or anything like that. You could have your own guns. Even still now, I think we're like literally rotating in like almost 45 seconds. It's still over 200 meters away. I've still got to try and trek across one of the roughest parts of the map, as I mentioned a little bit earlier on about Peak. This is incredibly hard terrain to push across. Obviously, it's rocky like this. It's very, very hilly. To the right is Peak. To the left, I know there's someone rotating out of docks. We actually do get him in the end towards the loadout. So yeah, it is a bit difficult to be navigating this map, to not have a loadout weapon. I don't have cash to buy a loadout. It really, really needs looking at the fact that this needs to be reverted back to how it was before a lot of players lose interest. Alright, so the final thing that I want to talk about is just basically how the game plays. I think towards the end of the Verdansk era, Warzone was in a pretty decent state, to be honest. Alright, there was hackers, and the map was pretty stale by the time Verdansk was done. However, the gun balancing was pretty decent. There wasn't that many glitches. There wasn't that many things being exploited in the map anymore in terms of like things like stim glitch, visibility glitches, stuff like that. Fast forward into Caldera, and the game is pretty much unplayable on console. Now, one of the things that desperately is needed for a console, especially the PlayStation 5, the Xbox Series X, and the Xbox Series S, is an FOV slider. Now, these consoles are incredibly powerful. Obviously, they're not as powerful as PCs. I understand that. However, they are very, very powerful. They can definitely handle an FOV slider. So why is there not one in Warzone? So this needs to be addressed. Alright, I understand maybe you can't do it for PlayStation 4. You might not be able to do it for the Xbox One. Alright, I get that, okay, possibly. However, at the same time, Cold War, for the previous gen, had an FOV slider, whereas Warzone never did. It's 80 FOV for console. I play on console, I play PlayStation 5, and I feel a little bit disadvantaged at all times, simply because of the fact there's no FOV slider. So things need to be looked at in terms of that. One thing that they do is remove Warzone from the Modern Warfare game. For whatever reason, my Modern Warfare is still a PlayStation 4 game, yet the Vanguard game I have for the PlayStation 5 is a PlayStation 5 game. Create Warzone in its own app. Take it out of anything else and create Warzone in its own app. Stop having it as an add-on to a game. Create it as its own game, its own application, whatever you want to call it, and then basically make it so it suits the current generation. So put it on a PlayStation 5, put it on available for Xbox Series X or S. Do that for it. Actually improve the game. That is stage one. And then going on to how the game performs on console, the new consoles, the next gen consoles, they can all run 120 Hz, but the game doesn't allow it. You've got to be capped at 60. The game crashes if you try and play at that. It doesn't allow it. This is actually a really good kill, by the way. I see him literally sat in the corner just at the last minute, and the Bren just does bits. But yeah, the consoles itself, like, they can handle it, but the game doesn't allow it. The game crashes if you don't have texture streaming off. The game, you get one game where it's pretty clear, and then the next game, all of a sudden, it's just like, you know what? I'm not going to play that. And it looks like a PlayStation 1, PlayStation 2 game. Nothing loaded in, no textures loaded in. So that needs addressing. Also, weapons on the floor. I don't think they see it in this game at all, but like weapons on the floor, they've got spikes coming out of them. I know when the game first dropped into Caldera, actually, come just rewind just 10 seconds there. Where's my mouse? Just rewind 10 seconds there. This is also annoying. As we come in here, like there's just loot just stuck in things like that. There's cash stuck in like desks, there's chests under tables where you can't open them. This here is a deployable cover just stuck in a wall. Change it. At the end of the day, okay, Activision is a multi-billion-pound dollar, whatever company, whatever currency you want. It's that, okay? So why is things like this, okay, you can't pick that up. That's just there. You can't pick that up. And not that I wanted to pick it up, but you can't get it. It's just there. Basically, it's stuck there. So why is Activision leaving this game to be broken as it is? Okay, I understand, okay, that everyone needs time off for Christmas. I get that the developers have had time off over Christmas. It's been a very, very difficult time in terms of the pandemic and stuff like that. I get it. I really do get it. However, at the same time, if you're a AAA game, okay, in terms of Call of Duty, Warzone, this is how you're outputting is, at the end of the day, you need to be fixing this straight away. I think that at the end of the day, the game needs changing massively. It needs a massive update. It needs to be boosted for the next gen consoles in terms of PlayStation 5, Xbox Series S, X, whatever you want to call it. You know what I mean? Just any current gen console that is, it needs to be performing for that if Warzone wants to be a competitive battle royale in the future.